Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Aftershock, where we're going to give you the latest and greatest in all things Web3. A ton of really interesting bits of news over the last week. Happy to share all that with you. But first, want to say for all those listening over on the podcast, thank you so much. Hope you are enjoying our content. Make sure to leave us a review and share this content with some of your friends and others who you think could benefit from it. And all those over on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And please leave us some comments on other types of news, or if there's an article that we shared today that you really like, please make sure you go and share that in the comments. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this week's Aftershock.
The Aftershock.
So we're going to start off this week with Dogecoin, as Dogecoin took a gigantic jump after Twitter switched out its bird logo for Shiba Inu. So you heard this right. You saw Shiba Inu themed cryptocurrency Dogecoin go up over 30% on Monday after Twitter's logo, which is the traditional bluebird, was swapped out for the cartoon image of the Dogecoin Shiba Inu. The meme coin, which was famously originally made as a joke, got all the way up to 10 cents on Monday. And you even saw some tweets come out from Elon Musk with the meme that says, that's an old photo. It's pretty hilarious, but also shows the power of every time Elon starts doing anything that has remotely to do with Dogecoin, things start pumping. So I thought, maybe this was potentially, the timing was off. This would have been a great April Fool's joke. I'm sure a lot of people would have went for it, but no, this actually happened today. And it's actually after Friday when Musk asked a judge to dismiss a $258 billion lawsuit that accused him of running a pyramid scheme to support Dogecoin. So I guess in response to that, he went on and did this. So be on the look for Dogecoin. If the continued mania around the hype of Dogecoin continues and persists, you may see more and more attention be driven that way, and something to be on the lookout for. Next, I'm going to turn it over to crypto exchange Bittrex, who's going to wind down its operations in the US. The exchange shared that all customer funds are safe, but advised that US customers to withdraw their funds by the end of the month, which is April 30th of 2023. So it's going to wind down its operations in the US due to challenging regulatory and economic environment. The announcement was made on the platform's 9th anniversary, marking a bittersweet moment for the company. Co-founder and CEO Richie Lay said that as a crypto ecosystem evolved, regulatory requirements have become increasingly unclear and enforced without appropriate discussion or input, leading to an uneven competitive landscape. This environment has made it economically unviable for Bittrex to continue its operations in the United States. As more and more regulation is starting to occur in the States, you're seeing a ton of companies start to remove themselves. Binance already has done it. Bittrex is doing it. I don't think this is going to be the last exchange that starts to get away from the US. So I think we're going to be in an interesting next, call it 2 to 3 months, as more and more regulation comes down the pipeline. But sad to see Bittrex go after its long standing here in the States. Next, we're going to go look at Albridge. And Albridge is offering a bounty to the exploiter who stole $573,000 in a flash loan attack. It offered this $573,000 reward from its platform for its chance to come forward as a white hat and forego any legal ramifications. The blockchain security firm Big Shield first identified the attack on April 1st, warning Albridge in a tweet that its BNB chain pool's swap price were being manipulated by an individual acting as a liquidity provider and swapper who was able to drain the pool of $282,000 in Binance USD and $290,000 worth of Tether. So this was not, unfortunately, a April Fool's joke, but actually was exploited for over $500,000. And they're putting out a bounty just to try to get the money back and to have no legal ramifications. So hackers are going to hack. Unfortunately, scammers are going to continue to scam. I feel like I say this once every 2 weeks or so, but this will continue to happen. A great reminder for all those who are out there who are building, make sure you're secure. and keeping everything safe as possible, because people are going to try to find ways to exploit, especially if there's liquidity. Next, we're going to look at over $330 million worth of token are scheduled to unlock in April. A total of 17 tokens unlock and are scheduled to be unlocked in the month of April. And it's $330 million worth of tokens into circulation, according to data from Token Unlocks. The largest unlock will occur on April 15th from BitDAO. Bit is its ticker. It is unlocking 1.951% of its total supply, which is worth almost $1 billion. Over 13% of the total amount will come from 3 projects set to unlock April 27th. Those 3 large unlocks have to do with Bit, ApeCoin, and Aptos. So as more and more of these tokens are being released out into the world, you usually see liquidity and people starting to take some of their money off the table. So what this is really saying is be on the lookout for more activity happening in the markets, especially around these ecosystems. You could see, as these token holders receive their tokens, potentially starting to see some sells so they could take some profit or take some of their tokens off of the market and get some liquidity as we continue to go into the year 2023. So April could be a very busy month for these particular tokens. So if you're within those ecosystems, be on the lookout. Next, we're going to look at Terra, as $200 million in real estate belonging to its foundation has been confiscated by South Korean prosecutors. So it's been established beyond a reasonable doubt that the prosecution amassed over 200 billion won in compensation for the assets of Terra Labs executives and employees accused in connection with the incidents involving the virtual currencies Terra and Luna. According to the KBS, the Financial Securities Crime Joint Investigation Team of Seoul's South District Prosecutor's Office in South Korea searched and preserved approximately 270 billion won, which is approximately $205 million US dollars, with the assets totaling 151 billion won, 79.1 billion won, and 40.9 billion won. So expropriation and preservation is a technique that can be used to stop criminal suspects from arbitrarily getting rid of property that they obtained through criminal activity while their cases are pending in court. So that's essentially what has been done here. And so that's being confiscated as everything from the fall of the Terra Luna collapse is being looked at more thoroughly and making sure that none of the properties that were obtained potentially illegally can be liquidated and be not used for money that can go back to people who unfortunately lost a tremendous amount of money. So as more things like this, and even when you look at SPF and what happened at FTX and other places like that, if there's real estate wrapped in, best believe the authorities are going to try to go get into it because it's an asset that can become liquid and be used. So again, be on the lookout for other things like this in other cases that have come up. Our next article is looking at Bitcoin mining emissions intensity. Bitcoin mining emissions intensity falls to new low. Bitcoin mining operations are becoming more sustainable as emissions intensity declines. More miners are now using sustainable energy and hardware efficiency has improved. So the Bitcoin mining emissions intensity dropped to its lowest level ever, according to Woo Charts. Climate technology venture investor and activist Daniel Ben posted his findings on April 3rd. And according to the chart, BTC mining now produces fewer energy emissions when compared to its energy consumption. Batten predicted that Bitcoin is on track to halve its emissions per kilowatt hour within 3.5 years. So no other industry is reducing emissions intensity as fast. He added in at that rate. And I think it goes to show that when put under a microscope of how bad Bitcoin mining was supposed to be for the environment, a lot of the different companies out there have found new and innovative ways to lower that and to show that it can be a viable option and even be able to provide ways for the excess energy that's being created to provide energy back to the grid. So it's really cool to see such vast improvements over the last 2 years, especially since it came under scrutiny. And I think it's only going to continue to get better. Our final article for Web3 Lightning Round is going to be about crypto startups score $227 million in funding, with Ledger leading the way. 11 different crypto startups received funding that totaled about $227 million. And it represented a slight increase from the previous week, which companies secured $190 million. Ledger, which is a cryptocurrency hardware company, secured the largest amount of funding, raising $109 million in its Series C round from investors, including TNT, Cap Horn Invest, Morgan Creek Capital, and Cathway Innovation. Following this round of capital, Ledger's valuation is said to be about $1.4 billion. So if you're familiar with Ledger, it's a cold storage company that has evolved as a company and is now doing other things, such as being able to build and create really cool technology for people to keep their funds off-chain. And you're starting to see more money, more VC money enter back into the market. I think this is a bullish indicator for how people are starting to view companies that are building for the future of Web3. And I think it's only going to continue to increase over time, especially as the sentiment in the market continues to shift and turn a little bit more bullish. So that's going to wrap up this week's Aftershock. Hope you enjoyed all of the articles. If you liked one in particular, make sure you go leave a comment for us. And if there's something that I missed, please let us know that as well. We want to make sure that we cover all the latest and greatest news. And if there's something that you would like to hear in the future, make sure you reach out to us. But as always, we hope you enjoyed today's content and make sure you stay cryptocurrent.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Cryptocurrent. Cryptocurrent is a cryptocurrency and blockchain education platform that's bridging the gap between the curious newcomers who are just discovering the space and the thought leaders who are shaping its future. All opinions expressed by Richard Carthon, the Cryptocurrent team, and their guests on this show are exclusively their own opinions. This show and any other Cryptocurrent production is exclusively for informational purposes.